next speaker is Mr. Walter Hudson, who is a community member of Christian. He will be talking about the topic of the killing by police of Jamaica.
Good evening, everyone. I want to thank Rowan University and the organizers around this for assembling this to an effort. It's very important that we speak up. I'm sorry. It's very important that we have a conversation and be honest about what's going on in our communities. Before I get into my speaking points that I want to talk about, first I want to thank the college students from Rowan University who supported the statewide march against police brutality this past Saturday. A few of your faces look familiar, and sorry that I didn't get to you guys during the march, but I seen you there, so it's familiar faces in the crowd. So to talk about Jerome Reed, I was called in on this matter around December. In fact, the day that it happened, I woke up to a lot of inboxes and text messages about what was going on down in Christian. So I'm originally from Penns Grove, New Jersey, and how National Awareness Alliance started. It started in 2010. Actually, it was Community Awareness Alliance. And what happened was there was a friend of the family that I was close to who was killed by the Penns Grove police, and I got involved around that, and I said that I want this to grow bigger instead of being community. I wanted to go national. The reason why, because I was, at the time, I brought the case in Penns Grove to Reverend Al Sharpton, and there was some back and forth, and it was just some back and forth that I didn't necessarily agree with. So I said, I want to do my own thing and work with those who really wants to seek justice for everyone. So back to Jerome Reed, just to give you a backdrop on National Awareness Alliance. We came in on the matter, and I reached out to Christian leadership, the NAACP, clergy members, wanted to have a private meeting with them just to get a pulse of how they felt about the issue and just to see which way they wanted to go about it. So I was looked at as an outsider. They denied the request for me to meet with me. Fine. So I started organizing with Christian community residents who wanted to see something done, and we got involved. And when they heard about us, organizing protests, then that's when the video came out, and we all saw it. Those we all saw it. Jerome Reed getting out the car with his hands up and being executed right there on the spot. So our demands that we were bringing forth to the mayor and elected officials is for them to denounce the execution of Jerome Reed. Now, with the prosecutors handling this, there's been a lot of improprieties regarding this. For one, the Cumberland County Prosecutor's Office have litigation against them right now because a former chief of detectives that worked for Cumberland County has placed a whistleblower lawsuit against them, alleging that the prosecutor's office know that they violated the rights of the people that they were investigating, but they went ahead to investigate them anyway and subsequently found them guilty. So if their own does not have faith and trust in them, why should the community have faith and trust in a local judicial system that apparently is not working? Secondly, the prosecutor recused herself minutes before our registration stating that she knew the officer that executed, one of the officers that executed Jerome Reed, and found out that it's more deeper than what we thought. You know, it is alleged that Officer Days was a coach or something like that towards the prosecutor child. And not only that, the prosecutor worked close with the local police officer in their investigations. So our demands are for the prosecutor's office to relinquish the investigation, give it over to the attorney general, and have them appoint a special prosecutor. And also the big push with the mayor is trying to get them off their behinds to get up and do something. I don't know if you know this or not, but up in Newark, I had a chance to be a witness of the transition that Newark, New Jersey is making with Mayor Ras Baraka with the implementation of the Civilian Review Board. And they will have the power to oversee and make, you know, calls on the police force in Newark. And they've been trying to do this for 50 years, and they have now got this into place. So this is what we are urging the mayor to do, is to really, you know, step up and quit the politics of what's going on. You know, they had a press conference, and basically everybody with the clergy members, the people that I try to meet with, basically band together and said that whatever decision that is made by the prosecutor's office, they're going to support that. Well, I think that's a slap in the face to the people, because Mayor Albert Kelly is on the record saying that for him to be mayor, it allows him to look through the eyes of his people. Well, his people see that there's an injustice done, and they want something done about it. So here's where the protests come in, because we cannot let this die out. And one of the great things about being here tonight is because I get to speak to you all. And one of the things that I wanted National Awareness Alliance to do was to organize with college students like yourself, because we are going to be the change of the future. History has written. So if you look back into the civil rights movement, there was a lot of college kids, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. There was also members that was part of Dr. King organization, SCLC. So I want to organize with the college students. You all, it don't matter if you're black or white, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, whatever. You know, we have to be the change that we seek, because if we're counting on our elected officials to do it, it's not going to get done. This is why we are all here. And I'm not disappointed that we don't have a lot more turnout, because it was Ella Baker who said that 3 people is better than no people at all. So we got just the group right here that we need, that if we really serious and passionate about changing all these social issues that you hear up here, well, tonight is time for us to unite. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take protests, it's going to take meetings, it's going to take strategizing, so we can mobilize and organize around these issues. And in closing, one of the things I want to say is, if you look back into the civil rights movement, Dr. King, Rabbi Albert Abernathy, and other civil rights leaders around that time, they changed the world with just a rotary phone and a postage stamp. So they got more done with less resources. And here we now, with the evolution of technology, we have more resources, but we're doing less with it. And like the sister said, we have a lot of things that are distracting us, and I call it WMD, weapons of mass distractions. Whether it be the Atlanta housewives and things like that. When we look around, you know, a lot of things are going on that need our direct attention. So we have more resources, and we have to do more with it. In Egypt, Africa, a couple of years ago, it was a 26-year-old, I believe, college student in Egypt, Africa, who organized the overthrow of Mubarak. But just by, on Facebook, hitting sin, telling people where to be, and there was 10,000 people in the streets, and Mubarak was overthrown. Then they got another dictator that was like Mubarak, and they overthrown him too, and more people came to support the protest. So I think that's what we need to do. I'm a college student myself. I'm pursuing my master's degree in criminal justice at Wilmington University. So I'm no different, you know, than you guys out there. So if we going to change this system, this institutionalized racism that preys on the weak and the oppressed, then we have to, again, like I said, unite tonight. After this is over, I want to unite with you all, give my information so we can, you know, get involved and help each other. You know, a lot of times, it feels good to be in here tonight, and I tell you why. Because I've been to other places where people are not that open-minded. When you start speaking out against social issues, they say you're racist. And you have, you know, white folk who normally calls me a racist. But if you do your research, find out who were the radical Republicans. Back in slavery, there were many white folks against slavery, but there were many white folks that, you know, was okay with slavery, but there was also ones that was against slavery, and they were called the radical Republicans. So do your research on that. I want to, you know, work with diversity. I think it's very much needed because we all have something to offer to this movement if we're going to change an unjust government, as we see that we cannot get any type of resolution from. So in order for us to see the change, we're going to have to, again, unite. We're going to have to be serious and dedicated to the movement. And we're going to also have to mobilize the masses, because we have to send a message to the people that we elect. Let them know we have the power. The power is within us. And that is the origin of, I always say, power to the people, because we have the power to put people in office, and we have the power to overthrow them. So again, I thank you for putting this together, allow me to speak to Jerome Reed issue, and I look forward to uniting with you all to build a long relationship in this movement to make changes that's very much needed. Thank you.